Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 89 of the 40k Badcast. My name is Dan Boyd, and I am joined, as always, by the chillinest B-boy of them all, Lego McPlaymobile.
I really love it was like the opposite of going 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. It was going like 60 to 2 in 30 seconds there.
Listen, guy, you got to test those brakes. Hey, I know that you don't know a lot about... Oh, shit, sorry, hold up.
Fuck you, Baltimore!
I know that you don't know a lot about driving, but braking is just as important as going.
Hey, well, the cool thing I learned when I was driving fairly recently is that the car in front of you will brake for you, and you can meet their bumper.
Yes, it's a design feature of roads.
Yeah, Route 1 is a nightmare.
Listen, we gotta stop fucking around. I'm sorry, Campbell.
Okay,
we gotta stop fucking around. We got a lot to talk about. This podcaster is way too much fucking around going on. All right, and I'm here today. It stops.
Oh, did we get a call from the office that we need to really get things a bit more on target here? What are the reports like? What are the numbers like?
I am very caffeinated, and my wife is not in the house at the moment, so I get to scream.
I'm jealous of both of those facts.
All right, let's get into it. The aspects, what's on our hobby radar. I will begin with a little bit of the hobby progress. I have finished my second squad of Blade Guard vets.
Hell yeah, you did.
I just want to point out to you and to all the listeners, fuck all y'all, because all y'all thought it was going to happen in February. This shit happened last week. Fucking suck on it. You guys suck. I'm the best. Ain't nobody. You can't see me, okay?
So, Dan?
Yeah.
I always believe in you painting those by February. I just played the heel to motivate you, and I'm so proud of you. I'm very happy with how they came out because they look beautiful.
I'm the one who plays the heel. You're the baby face.
I can have an occasional heel turn as a treat.
I get to I get to tell the listeners to go fuck themselves. You don't. That's my job.
Yeah. I'm not telling the listeners. They're fucking. They have their own opinions. They can be the way they are. But I can speak for myself and literally no one else.
Well,
and I can say I believed in you.
Thank you. I guess. I'm sure you did. Doesn't matter. I finished them. They're done. That's it for Blade Guard. And the day after I posted them, the Warhammer community article announcing that the Blade Guard would go on sale the next weekend came out. And I was just like, you motherfuckers.
I mean, you knew they were coming, though.
Yeah, I knew they were coming, but I didn't know they were going to come out the day after I finished my fucking Blade Guard.
Hey, if I knew they were going to be coming after the day after you finished them, I would have told you to start those guys back in November.
Anyways, they're great. I love these models. I was looking at the new kit, though, and I don't like the shield on the back look.
It's a little weird looking. Yeah.
Because how the fuck are they going to get that off?
I imagine it. All right, so
it'd be like a turtle. It would be like a turtle giving itself a fucking scratching an itch on its shell. All right, there's a whole fucking backpack back there, and you know that it's like the Space Marines aren't doing fucking yoga in their MKX power armor. Okay, it's not exactly flexible.
I mean, I imagine every Blade Guard veteran needs to be either double jointed or they have a buddy system. And it's kind of like, it's the, UPS is delivering Games Workshop package because I can read not children's products on the side of it. Good.
Are you looking at what's happening at your front door right now?
Yeah, I am, which is really good because they were supposed to deliver my Sergeant Ripper Jackson. They said they did last week, and they super didn't. So that's God knows where. Anywho, going back a step, I feel like the issue is you're going to need to have the Blade Guard veteran, like, they got to be in kind of like a massage circle, essentially, to get their shields off before the battle.
Oh, my God. It's excuse me, Mr. Gene Stealer. Would you mind waiting so Brother Fred back there could take the shield off my back and hand it to me?
Yeah, he's really working out some knots in my neck.
But he also has to put his stuff down to do it because he's got a sword and a shield, and he has to put at least one of them down and then pick it back up before we fight. Oh no, I'm dead. Okay.
Well, that's what the guy rubbing the sword with his cloth is actually because he had to leave his sword on the ground to get the guy's shield off in front of him.
I do like that. I like that look.
Yeah,
I do. But I think that would be better as like a lieutenant model. Like on a more scenic kind of base thing instead of just a guy with a shield on his back.
Yeah.
And then there's like the sculpts with the with the different pistols and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, man.
Dude, I'm not fucking using those.
I don't know. I mean, okay.
I don't buy. They're not pistol guard veterans. They're blade guard veterans. I care about the swords.
All right, that's the words that I was looking for in my head. But you did a great job of bringing them out into the real world. Also, as a quick aside, I ordered some Games Workshop stuff on December 12th, and I got it yesterday.
Nice.
So I mean, they're having problemas over there.
I mean, the thing that got delivered right here, I ordered on the 31st of December. So yeah, it only took 28 days.
Hey, nice. I mean, mine took like 35, but whatever, it's cool.
That's all right. Sure, fine. I can't make any excuses for that.
Add 10 to that, 45. All right. Anyways,
sweet.
Let's not move on. I'm still doing hobby progress. Sorry.
Yeah,
okay. So I based and primed after I finished these Blade Guard vets. I went on a fucking tear one day. I based and primed an entire battalion of Space Marines.
God damn. Yeah. You were talking about this to me.
We're talking a Tech Marine, a Primaris Spike Chaplain, 2 x 5 Assault Intercessors, infiltrators, 7 infiltrators, because I do the auxiliary guys also. So each of my squads is actually 7. A Blade Guard Ancient, a squad of 5 Heavy Hellblasters, an Impulsor, and then I went ahead and primed built all of the new Orlocks. That the new Orlock box, the Wreckers and the Arms Master and the dogs. So I built and primed those too. So I am set for a while with stuff I need to paint, except that I need to do some aggressors soon, and I haven't even built those yet. So should have done that, but didn't, and it's okay. It was a lot. It was great. It took me a whole day to do this because it's cold outside, so I was bringing the stuff back in every time I went to prime something, because you don't want it to dry in the cold because some of the paint might crystallize. So I was like in and out of the house priming shit all the time, and I'm a fucking psychopath who has to prime everything, has to make sure everything is completely 100% covered. So it takes me a while to prime some things, but I got it all done, and I've already started work on the Impulsor. I'm actually all done with everything but the main hull.
Oh, nice.
Because I do all the small stuff first on these vehicles.
I think we talked about that last time, about how that's just a really good way to motivate yourself, because when you've done 90% of a tank and you're like, all right, it's done. Oh, fuck, I got to paint the Storm Bolters.
Right, yeah. No, that sucks. That's a terrible feeling. So I've started doing that. And it's all the small stuff is done, but man, this thing is going to take a while, just because like there's this whole panel situation in the truck bed with like screens and lights and knobs and shit, and I don't even know how I'm going to start painting this yet. I haven't figured out my color scheme for it. I want to put red somewhere on this model, but I don't know where. There's no really good place for it like there is on the repulsor doors. So I'm kind of a little bit stuck on this, on like how I should do it, but I'm sure I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of thing where you could probably paint a stripe on it or something.
Or there's some like cowling on the intake, the engine intakes.
Oh yeah,
maybe I could do red.
That's a perfect place for either red or white.
I'd have to like. It's like part of the armor too, though. So we'd have to like just make a line of where it's like red and black, where the red becomes black.
You already painted the Storm Bolters, right?
I did. I painted the shields on those white. I always paint the gun shields white for my vehicles. So that's going to be the white element. And then for the red, I guess I'll try with these cowlings, see what happens with those. That might work.
Solid.
But yeah, okay. I do want to talk about Assault Intercessors, though. I think I mentioned this when I built them, but since I've primed them, oh my God, I fucking love these models.
Yeah, I know you've been very excited to work on them.
I might just blow up my painting schedule that I have figured out just so I can do Assault Intercessors next, because I am fucking goo gaga over these fucking things, dude. They are great models.
I mean, they were the first models I painted from Indomitus. Like, despite how cool Blade Guard are and the characters and all that stuff, they're the things that actually kind of excited me the most. I love just the dynamic poses, the fact they're just kind of like rank and file dudes where their details aren't insane. It's all just down to the fact they've got a cool equipment and are in cool poses.
Yeah, and you were right. You were 100% right to do that. I'm a little bit jelly that I don't have mine done, but I think that might be my next project just because I'm so excited about the models. Mm-hmm. Also, they're not bad on the table. I mean,
No, they're not.
They're 95 points as opposed to the 100 points from regular intercessors, so you get a little bit of a discount there, and they're great at sweeping enemies off of objectives, which, as we know in 9th edition, or at least as I know in 9th edition, is one of the most important things to do. So yeah, that's a lot of hobby progress lately. I've been able to put a lot of time towards hobby, and that has made me very happy.
Awesome. I'm very happy for you. Great.
What about you, my friend?
Well, we were actually talking about this before the show, but I've been working on my Eschers. The Sisters of Mercy is the gang. They are up to 10 painted models for them. And I was very happy that they're coming out. I've kind of changed up my painting technique for them a lot. Instead of doing like the typical layer shade highlight sort of thing, I've been doing a lot more like blending up to colors. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm being a little too subtle in a lot of cases. Like, for instance, on their pants where it's blended, I think from like black to inky by darkness. It looked good, but of course it looked really flat until I started like bringing in an extra layer of highlights after the fact. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to need to do now is...
I thought about that when you told me you were doing it, but I didn't say because I think it was a hobby hang. You were talking about how that was your plan, black to inky by darkness, and I thought to myself, man, those colors are really fucking similar.
They're pretty close.
I hope he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, up close, it looks great.
Yeah, I'm sure.
In photos, though, or if, God forbid, from tabletop distance or whatever, it just looks black.
Yeah, up close, under a light when it's 6 inches away from your fucking eyeballs, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Everything looks either really good or really bad.
Yeah, and fortunately, these look great while I'm painting them, and then I put them down, they look all flat.
Yeah.
What I've been doing is Pink Horror to Emperor's Children as the blend, which, again, those colors aren't super close. It's kind of a Mr. Bubble pink to Pepto-Bismol pink.
Yeah.
And then I do a Caribou Crimson, like watered down shade in the recesses, but I don't go all the way to Emperor's Children. I think I just need to do like a final fine line highlight of Emperor's Children to really just finish it off. Just kind of like on the, like the edges of their flak armor and such.
I would go even further with
Really?
This. Yes, I would actually take it all the way up to Pallid Witch Flesh.
What? Oh, fuck off.
No, seriously, because Pallid Witch Flesh is my go-to for highlighting anything that's supposed to be like reddish, and you want to bring it all the way up to the point where just like a little bit of white at the very tip tops can really, really bring some depth to the model.
Yeah,
because Pallid Witch Flesh is basically white with a little bit of red in it.
Right, I've used it I've used it for skin, like some of the pale. What do you know, Pallid Witch Flesh? I've blended it for some of the lighter skin tones I've done. Yeah,
that's the top highlight for all of my Raven Guard guys' skin because it's very pale. They're supposed to be real pale, for at least some of them. And I don't know. I find it works really good on reds too, and pinks if you're bringing them up. So that might be an idea. I think like we were talking about this and. Listeners, Campbell showed me the finished pictures of these things, and they look fantastic. But he's right. In the pictures and the final thing, the pink reads a little flat. I actually think the pants look fine looking at them.
Well, it's because I did kind of come to that conclusion. I did need like a final highlight. Just
the hair, the depth on the hair, the depth on the skin, and the great detail all over the weapons and stuff. It's there, and your bases, your Necromunda bases are fantastic. But then the pink, it just doesn't come up far enough. And I'm sorry to say it. I hate criticizing your painting.
No, that is all right. You are, again, we were also talking just before the show. You were not the first person to do so. I was talking to Dylan, and he was saying the pink red is pretty flat. He's actually why I started doing a Karaberg shade just in the recesses. But I'll do that extra level. I think I won't go to pure Pallid Witch flesh. I think I'll probably mix a little bit of that with the Emperor's Children, which is the highest pink I do here.
Okay.
Just to kind of get that. I don't know. I don't want to spend. I've already spent long enough getting this blend. I don't want to be like doing it all the fuck over again. I just kind of want to do that nice line highlight just to get the real like specular bits in there.
I think you could do that. I think you could blend Emperor's Children up with a little bit of Pallid Witch flesh and get some nice things. And maybe what I would do also would be in the very bottom recesses, like the really bottom stuff, get just a little bit of Nuln oil in there.
I don't know about that.
And darken the very bottom of the stuff. If I were gonna do it, that's exactly what I would do. But yeah, it's of course. And again, I'm sorry, I don't like criticizing your painting.
It's okay. I don't mind the workshop and the ideas and all that stuff. Because again, this is not just like your stuff sucks ass. Put it in the garbage disposal where it belongs. It's like, oh no, this could use something
You've got
else.
all
Just
this
make it pop
animal
a little
print
more.
stuff too on these ladies, and it looks fantastic. Especially the woman with the chem thrower. She's got like a leopard print crotch cloth going on.
It's full jersey.
Yeah, it's great. It's really, really fantastic.
It's fortunate there's a lot of good reference photos out there for animal prints, and that's what I've been doing. Whether I'm playing with them a little bit to make them look a little bit more alien, a little more weird, or going with something a bit more jersey. There's also a snow leopard print in there that I didn't photograph super well, but that was a similar sort of situation where it was a lot of fun to do that bit of research. So beyond these first 10 gangers, who I just need to go back and touch up on a little bit, I suppose, I have started working on the Wild Runners Death Maidens set.
Yes.
I haven't built the Death Maidens yet. I'm still kind of hemming and hawing how to arm them, just because the Venom Claw, I think, is pretty good, but looks really stupid.
It does. Okay, it is pretty good. I think you should probably,
I think one is going to have a Venom Claw.
I write about what's good and not good in Necromunda all the fucking time.
I'm
so
very much
I
aware.
have opinions about this. If you want them, I will share them. But if you don't want them, that's okay too.
I mean, well, again, we've wasted a lot of content.
This is a podcast where we talk to each other about the hobby. So, I mean, maybe you do want to hear, but I don't want to tell you what to do.
How about this? I'm not going to ask you to tell me what to do, but I am going to say, if you want to offer some input here, I wouldn't mind it. Would you say, because I was looking at the rules earlier, and I'm like, the Entangle rule, which the Venom Claw has, where basically if you roll a 6, you're -2 to be hit, which seems pretty fucking good when you're already like a T4 2-wound model in Necromunda. I'm trying to figure out if that's good enough to off-put how stupid they look.
Well, it's not just that. It's the toxin is nice when you mix it with the chem alchemy for Escher, where they can supercharge their toxins. Things get really, really nasty with the Death Maidens, and they have an inbuilt reroll of 1s when it comes to doing the toxin tests.
Yes.
So they're really, really good. But yeah, they do look stupid. They make their hands look enormous.
And their poses and those hands make them really look like Blood Bowl players. And
they do. They look like they're like Blood Bowl Amazon catchers or something.
Yeah,
it's not a great look. After doing research on this stuff, unfortunately the Venom Claw is up there as one of the better weapons they could take, but they can still take stuff like power swords. They can, of course, you can just outfit them with pistols if you want to. The plasma pistol on a Death Maiden is always a good idea. The needle pistol, so she comes with a needle pistol on her model.
Yeah, in the kit, yeah.
Needle pistol is okay.
Yeah, I've got a few of them scattered around in my gang, just because, again, Toxin, it's kind of the gang to do with. And
right, but remember, hold up. Remember, making Toxin work is, like, Toxin against a 1-wound model doesn't mean anything. It's Toxin. The value of Toxin is bypassing wounds. Yeah. So most
armor.
No, you get armor saves against Toxin.
I thought you didn't get armor saves.
Yes,
that's gas weapons. Sorry.
No, you don't get armor saves against gas weapons, but gas is bad Toxin. So because gas doesn't pin, unless gas takes somebody out or puts them seriously injured, it does nothing. Like you can get a flesh wound, but they're not pinned. They're just standing there ready to fuck you up the next time. So
right.
Gas can get good with chem alchemy, but here's the thing: chem alchemy is expensive. Now, there is a hanger on for Escher the Clan Chemist, which halves the cost of Chem Alchemy, which is really, really important if you're going to like spec into Toxin big time.
Yeah, since it's expensive and one-time use only.
Yeah, there is hidden. Well, one time as in use per game. Yeah. There's hidden costs with Toxin. So if you're going to go Toxin, just keep that in mind. And I would very much hesitate to double up on Toxin for anybody. So like somebody with a Venom Claw should probably not have a needle pistol. And then maybe somebody who has a power sword or a different, higher tier, close combat weapon, maybe you give them the Toxin. So you're not like, okay, my Death Maiden, I need to spend 55 credits this game to power her up.
Right.
And give her the good stuff. Like you don't want
already expensive as hell, so why would I? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So just that's maybe something you should think about when you're outfitting your dead ladies.
Extremely sensible. I'm also just very much looking forward to having a chem weapon with the chem that makes people go insane when you shoot them.
Yes, absolutely.
That's even better than the one that makes their guts explode.
No, my favorite is the one that is getting them addicted to Obscura, where you load up your needle pistol or your needle rifle or even your Venom Claw, and with Obscura, and you can get the person you hit with it addicted to this terrible narcotic. It would be like loading up a bunch of billiards darts with heroin and then throwing them at people you know.
See, I'm pretty sure there's an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia about this.
Yeah, that's real scumbag energy, and I'm all here for it.
If we have made it clear, Necromunda is the best game Games Workshop has ever made.
It absolutely is.
So anyway, I have not finished those Death Maidens, but I have finished building the Wild Runners and Felixes. They're drying outside right now. I actually gassed myself by letting them dry in the garage, and I forgot to open the garage door, so it smells real fun in there right now.
Were you priming?
Yeah.
I love the smell of spray paint. I feel like if I was gonna start doing, drugs, I'd probably start with huffing paint.
Yeah, just be doing whippets again.
Love that. Oh man, I've done so many fucking whippets. Whippets rule.
Whippets whip, would you say?
Dude, they get you so fucked up for like 30 seconds. It's amazing. This is why I have brain problems. But no regrets. Not a single regret.
Speaking of scumbag energy. All right, so that's it for my hobby progress and your hobby progress.
Did you play any games?
I have not, but I am working on getting Tabletop Simulator set up to play 40k with Cody and some of my friends out east. So
fantastic.
I've got the runway is being set up.
Well,
how about you?
Not only did I not play any games, my Blood Bowl league folded before any games were played.
Well, it's extremely good I didn't get around to design that logo for you.
Yeah, one of the players dropped out.
Year.
It was a 4-player league with some friends. We're all social distancing and stuff. But one of the players, he thought that even doing something like that was too risky for him. And he dropped out. And that's okay.
Yep, I can't blame him. Do what feels safest to you.
All right, we got a lot of new stuff to get through. So I'm just going to start getting through it. And you just react. And, like we usually do. All right.
You drive the car and I yell from I'd say from the passenger seat, but really from the child's seat behind your chair.
All right. We've got some new Blood Bowl stuff. We got Gretchen Wachter, the Blood Bowl Banshee. Mm-hmm. She's a Banshee character for undead teams in Blood Bowl. Great model, fun rules. I don't know if we'll see her a whole lot because star players in Blood Bowl, they're really not a thing that people use all that much, but I like the model a whole lot. I don't have any undead teams, so I probably won't buy her though. Is
that a symptom of just Blood Bowl as a whole or a symptom of new Blood Bowl?
No, the way star players work is as inducements, right? So if you're like, let's say Gretchen Wachter costs 160,000 gold pieces to hire. Mm-hmm. So the only time you would use them is if your team was playing my team and my team was 160,000 gold pieces more expensive or more.
Gotcha.
So because it's a catch-up mechanic in Blood Bowl, inducements. And star players is part of that. But you only get the services of that star player for one game.
Okay.
So you never see people spending their own quote unquote own gold. Oh, sorry, fuck, god damn it.
Fuck you, Baltimore!
Thank you.
For star players, but they spend inducement money for them. So with your halfling team, we talked about this. You need a lot of star players.
Right, because I'm going to be behind a lot.
Exactly. And I sent you a list of all the halfling, all of the star players halflings can use. So if you actually want to play games or play in a league at some point, you will need to stock up on star players. For my teams, my orcs and my elves, I will probably need star players because elves die a whole lot. But for orcs, like orc teams never use star players because they're never behind.
Right, and New Blood Bowl is very bashy friendly from what I've gathered, and orcs are the bashiest.
Amongst the bashiest. Yeah. Well, I did play a refresher game against my friend Tony's Black Orc team, which is the new team, and that was a lot of fun. And it really made me want to play Blood Bowl, and then the league went away. So,
rip.
Yay!
Fun.
All right. Anyways, sticking to new stuff. Escher Fear Cats are out and for sale on Forge World.
Good.
You got to get some of those, homeboy.
I do. I'm just waiting to I'd say waiting to rack up enough of a Forge World cart to get free shipping. It's more like justifying to myself doing another Forge World cart big enough to do free shipping because I just got a bunch of Forge World stuff the other day.
Listen, man, you got to get some of these Fear Cats, and you got to get them quick because you never know when this stuff goes out of print.
I mean, that's why I bought the fucking Arvis lighters for Aeronautic Imperialis. That's something I guarantee you will not be able to buy in a year.
Yeah. So Death Guard rules are out. People, I think, have the Codex now, or are they going to have the Codex in stores next week? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
If I know.
It's the 28th of January. We could be right. We could be wrong. It doesn't matter. But what I do know is that everybody seems to know what the Death Guard rules are now.
Yeah, and that they're very good.
They're very, very good. Mortarion is terrifying. He's got like 4 warlord traits. That's scary. That's not great.
Fine.
That's not great if you're up against him. He's very hard to kill. Your basic troops are coming at you. T5, 2 wounds, and -1 damage inbuilt.
Yeah, which is wild. Everyone who was complaining that Feel No Pain was going away just doesn't really. I mean, like, there's a Math Hammer article about it on Goonhammer that basically just shows you, like, nah, you're fine. Because the biggest thing that's going to kill you is going to be things like autocannons, and now they're not gonna. Yeah,
it's pretty wild. Like, I finished these Blade Guard up, and they got these sweet damage 2 swords. And fucking Death Guard don't give a shit about that.
Nope.
No. So, Death Guard look really good. And I'm actually happy because Chaos players have been whining incessantly for years and years about how bad their army is.
Yeah,
and
since I started playing in 2005.
Maybe this will shut them up for like a minute.
For a minute. Also, Death Guard suffered from first Codex syndrome from 8th edition. Like, they were on an old Codex. I get it. It's cool. It's cool. I hope they enjoy their new Plague Bongs.
And Chaos players suffer from diaper rash because they're fucking babies.
Diaper rash, cradle cap. They could just get kind of colicky. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Hey, Chaos players. Hey, Chaos players. Fuck you. Ooh, spicy.
Alienating like 3 people right now.
I had spicy Thai curry for lunch. And now I'm spicy.
Now you're the spicy boy.
All right, so the Death Guard did get a new model, though, the Lord of Virulence.
Who I could not pick out of a lineup from every other Death Guard Terminator, I'll be honest.
He is busy as far as models go.
Death Guard.
And somebody pointed out to me his pose is the exact same as this one cop who is pepper spraying protesters in like 2012 or something, who's
pepper
just like walking down a line of protesters who have been like cuffed and are seated on the ground, and he's just pepper spraying them as they're doing nothing. Yeah, because he's evil. Mm-hmm. So I guess that checks out for a Chaos model. Oh yeah, no, it completely tracks. And I don't know. I mean, it's a good model, but you're right. It does sort of get lost in the sauce there. Mm-hmm. Okay. The Plague Bong is out, and oh my god, if I don't get a video of somebody doing a fucking sick bong rip off the Plague Bong within 1 month, I am going to gouge my eyes out.
I mean, here's the thing. Anyone who does this, I will send them a free Badcast t-shirt of their choice.
And I will not die. How
They
about
might,
that?
but I won't.
Listen, somebody take bong rips out of the plague bong before it's too late, okay? Before this fucking CDC steps in and reminds people not to smoke weed out of injection mold plastic.
Typical government overreach.
Fucking government. I can't believe it. All right. Smoke weed every day. Okay. Tau Remora drones for Aeronautica Imperialis came out. They're cute, man. They're little cutie boys.
They're extremely cute, and the photos for them are very photoshopped.
Oh, are they really?
They're very clearly the models just kind of like pasted over some stock upright Aeronautic Imperialis bases.
Beautiful. I'm a huge fan of that.
The models are very cool, though. I like them.
Hold up. I want to find that.
I'll send it to you over Discord.
No, I'm already typing. Oh, you got it. Okay, you're looking at it. Look at you. You're fucking smart and handsome. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just pasted on there.
Yeah, they wouldn't sit on those like that. They're little tiny boys, aren't they?
They're very cute. I'm happy they're here. They look like a total pain in the ass in game, like just impossible to hit. But
well, I think the thing with them is you just take a whole bunch of them and like a couple of the big Tau planes, and you're just like, all right, fuckos. Yep. Now I'm the orcs. Okay, so next we got the January 23rd preview. All right, so this was a big shindig last weekend.
Dead and the Divine preview stream.
The Dead and the Divine, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah, the Dead and the Divine preview stream.
Fantastic. I called it the January 23rd preview in my notes because that's when it happened.
That makes more sense, but it's less alliterative.
I suppose so. All right, let's start at the top here, man.
Yep.
The Sisters of Battle Paragon war suits. Now, this has set the community on fire.
It's a divisive one.
I want your thoughts.
All right, I think this looks like a lady wearing power jeggings. I call it the Dread Knight Jr. I think it's dumb as hell, and I do not love it.
Oh my gosh.
I do not like this. I've seen some photoshops where if you remove the person's arms that are just sticking out and replace the head with like a death mask looking thing, it looks kind of cool. It looks kind of like a walking coffin sort of thing, as opposed to.
This is the thing, like the Baby Bjorn from what do you call it? Grey Knights, yeah.
Yes,
like people were like, if you do this and then you do that, like it's cool. It's like, motherfucker, just get a different goddamn model.
Yeah, that's the thing. The amount of work you have to do to make this thing look cool, IMHO, is too much. I do not like this model whatsoever. The Sisters of Battle like range has been just nonstop bangers until this specific point.
I'm gonna take a different track on this one, Campbell, if you don't mind.
Okay, sure.
If you don't like this mini, you're a fucking coward. This mini rules. It owns bones. They are fantastic. I love them. They look like they have great detail. And yeah, it's stupid. But guess what, motherfuckers? It's 40K. It was already stupid. No, I love these things.
I'm not saying it doesn't have great detail. I love elements of it. I just do not like the model overall.
I want church battle mechs, damn it. And this is the closest we're going to get to them.
There's a game called Adeptus Titanicus for you if you want church battle mechs.
No, there's no fucking churches. There's no Imperator Titans.
You're right.
We're going to talk about this in like 2 minutes. If you just hold your fucking goddamn horses, Campbell.
My horses are unrestrained and you cannot stop them.
You and fucking Mick Jagger, huh?
Ooh, do not compare me to that man.
That is a reference that you might not get.
I know wild horses.
All right.
They couldn't take me away.
You're fucking 14 years old. It's hard with you.
Yeah, but I'm a 14-year-old so I still know some dad rock.
Listen, this model, I love it. I'm all for it. I can't wait to see them on the battlefield. I think they rip shit.
I'm happy for you.
And if you disagree with me, fuck you.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, I mean, I get why people don't like it because it's objectively stupid. Don't get me wrong, but I'm thinking that's a good thing. I'm enjoying it. Keeping 40K stupid is something that we here at the Badcast love to do, and this is definitely helping out with that. All right, moving on. A new Kill Team box is coming out, the Pariah Nexus, and it's got heavy intercessors and the Gravis Captain with the big gun. And
also Flayed Ones and the Chronomancer. So like all the models in this set, well, all the models we've seen before, basically from like the codices they're from, look great. Like, of course, we've already seen them. I've wanted the heavy intercessors. Like, I've wanted it to be big boy season for quite some time now. Not as big a fan of the Necron terrain. It's kind of two-dimensional. The details are kind of chunky. And I think as a contained game, 5 flayed ones and a Chronomancer versus 5 heavy intercessors and a Space Marine captain is a bad joke. The Necrons do not win this one. It is not actually. I don't think this is actually good as a kill team game. Even as someone who doesn't think kill team is an especially compelling game, I don't think this is a good matchup. My only hope is that this means I'll be able to get those in heavy intercessors and captain on eBay for fairly cheap.
Yeah, so I'm on record saying I don't really like the new captain sculpt that much
because he's a little too easy, like Sunday morning.
He's just so cash.
Yeah, I'm down for captain casual.
I mean, I guess he's chilling and that's cool. I guess, but I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. Now, the heavy intercessors, however, they look fucking fantastic. I am probably going to wait for the box to come out from these guys, though.
Okay. It's the same sprues.
The multi-part kit, just because I don't need the fucking Necrons. I will say, though, there's going to be a lot of Necron terrain pieces on eBay.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling it.
I feel like you can do cool stuff with the Necron terrain in there. Like, I think it's fine. It's like the Necrons, an ancient, unnoble evil who make chest-high walls out of Gears of War. Like, you could do so much more with it, and
I'm looking at the old Chronomancer here. Oh, fuck. Goddamn it.
Fuck you, Baltimore!
Chronomancer.
I'm looking at the old Chronomancer here, and you know, Campbell, I've noticed that he's got 2 different staffs.
I'm sorry, 2 different staffs?
2 different staffs. That's right. That's what I said.
I just see all his fucking D6 is floating above his head.
Yeah, he's got D6s, he's got staffs, he's got a skull,
a roe beard.
A skull beard?
A big roe beard.
How does he... How does he use his mouth? How does that? It would just bang on his chest.
Well, he has to angle his head up, grab his chin with both hands, and pull.
I don't know. Maybe he just saw like a really hot Necron walk by, and he's doing the auga.
Yeah. Until there's a stratagem that makes one of my Necrons' eyes bulge out of their head and for them to make a train noise, what's the fucking point? If they're not pounding on the table and howling like a wolf every time they see a, I guess, Russian-made boob skeleton, what's the fucking point?
Ficron, the new heavy destroyer. Oh,
that is true. Yeah, that the Locusts who do got all the junk in the trunk.
So the flayed ones. The flayed ones are not thrilling me. I'm sorry. They're better than the current ones.
Oh, they're the first good flayed one models I think there's ever been.
I am not thrilled by them. Though I do like how they've got the Crypto Thrall look to them. They don't have the barrel bodies like the Crypto Thralls do, but they are hunched over. So maybe I do like these flayed ones. Maybe I'm just a fucking moron.
I mean,
the listeners are sagely nodding right now. They're like, yes, maybe he is.
He finally gets it. I bet they're the kind of model where once you see it in person, you'll be like, oh, actually, these are pretty cool.
No, I actually think the models in this set, except for the Space Marine Captain, are really good. The heavy intercessors are, I just love me some thick Marines, and I don't really want to paint a ton of Gravis anytime soon because just the amount of edges is wild, but these models look fucking fantastic. I know I'll get at least 5 at some point. This captain that just doesn't fucking do it for me.
That's all right.
I was looking at his rules too. He just kind of exists, you know. He's got like a okay gun and a damage 2 sword. Like fucking whatever. They're better captains.
That's okay. He'd probably be like Capitan Casuale if he was in my army, which he will be.
Uh-oh.
Thank you. Grazie.
Grazie mille. Okay, let's move on to Adeptus Titanicus. The War Master Titan is real fucking big. And hey, GW, are you listening?
Yeah.
Just do the Imperator! Just do the fucking Church Titan. Enough of this. Oh my God!
They are army-based.
You know what they're doing? You know what they're doing?
They're teasing.
They're edging.
Ooh, they are, and there's a lot of edges on this model.
The final release. I'm doing the fucking jack off motion right now.
Releasing some doves. Yeah.
The final release will be the Imperator Titan, and it'll have a big fucking church on its back. But until then, we just get this fucking box-shaped fucking abortion of a knight, not a knight Titan. It's not an abortion. It's a fine model. It actually looks really fucking cool. But I'm just upset over here. I'm performatively upset for the show, one. And two, because come on, man, give me the fucking church robot.
Yeah, as we all know, you're heavily invested in Adeptus Titanicus, seeing how Alfredo gave you some stuff once.
I have a box of it. I will get around to it. Okay. For real? They're releasing a book also, The Loyalist Legios. Oh, God damn it. God, this is a lot of Baltimore.
Fuck you, Baltimore!
Legios.
The Loyalist Legios. And this is a book that actually interests me for Adeptus Titanicus. One, because I don't know where the rules are for AT.
Yeah.
You know, like apparently there was a starter at some point that has a rule book, and I don't know where those rules exist. And two, like I don't know where the rules where all the legions are, and I don't want to play the heretic legions because at this point just no. So the Loyalist Legions are the ones that I'm interested in. And finally, a book with all of them in it. Whatever. That's the kind of thing that I would want if I were going to start collecting this for this game.
Okay, that's fair.
So if that book comes out, I might just go ahead and fucking get it, bud.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Like, I think that's the problem with a lot of these specialist games things where it's not like Necromunda where it's like House of X, House of Y, House of Z. Like with Aeronautica Imperialis, if you want to do an Imperial fleet, you need 2 different rule books. And that's silly just because one came with half the models, one came with the other half the models. With Adeptus Titanicus, as far as I gather, it's a similar situation, such as in the case of this Loyalist Legios set. So
the War Master Titan does look pretty good. I know
it looks cool. I like the anti-aircraft guns on its back a lot.
How big is it? Like knight size? Is that a knight base?
The Warlord Titan's already pretty close to a knight size. War Master Titan is a head and shoulders bigger than the Warlord Titan. So yeah, I think it is.
It's like a Knight Dominus sized.
Probably closing in. Like calling this a miniature is starting to be a joke.
I love it. That's great. Okay, moving on to Sigmar, Age of. We got another Lumineth model. I don't even want to talk about it. It does nothing for me.
It's I like how dynamic it is. I like how it's I guess Naruto's fox form or whatever. I'm not crazy about it, but I do think it's very dynamic. It's using a lot of, I guess it's not psychic jizz, it's magic jizz because Age of Sigmar. But yeah, I'm not thrilled with it. I
will allow that the quiver looks cool, and that's a cool. And as far as the Lumineth models go, so far this is one of the better ones. But that range, I know that there are people who are working hard on it, and there are people that really like it. But every time I think about this range, I just think back to the Techless model and how stupid,
his dumb face,
how stupid that entire model is.
I love Techless's monster. I don't like Techless. I love the art of Techless. I don't like the model of him specifically.
Yeah, the Lumineth faction. If you're into it, more power to you, gang. But I just can't.
I like half the Lumineth stuff, but only half. I like the half that's basically just the high elf stuff. Like I love the pikemen. I love the cavalry. Don't like the kangaroo cavalry so much. I think they're
the kangaroo cavalry. We did see pictures of that recently. That's really stupid.
in the video teasing Foxboy here, Boruto's dad, you do see some of what look kind of like the old Swordmasters in the background, but you can't get a good look at them. So I'm excited to see those. Again, I like the old things kind of being modernized a little bit. I do like the animal mask sort of aesthetic. I think it's kind of creepy and very cool. And I like the very crisp way they paint it.
That is cool, but like, and this model is fine. Like I'm not hating on this model. It's just that this whole faction just doesn't fucking do anything for me.
Yeah, and that's okay. Well, good thing there's a whole other elf faction because Daughters of Cain also got their endless spells.
And that faction does a lot for me. I think the like everything works in that from that group. The snake ladies, the knife ladies, just give me more of that. Come on.
Yeah, the harpy ladies. No, the whole that range is very heavily like influenced more by the old Dark Elf Witch Coven models than a lot of the other stuff. But I think that range is wonderful. I like they get their own endless spells. I still barely played Age of Sigmar with endless spells, but it makes for a lot of fun models that come out of it. So yeah.
Yeah, we've got Blood Snake, Blood Swords, and Blood Arm.
Featuring Bloodheart.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. All right, let's...
We're talking about blood.
Oh, my wife has brought me a beer.
Hell yeah.
This is wonderful. Thanks, Danielle. Say hi, Danielle.
Hi.
That's Danielle, listeners.
Hell yeah.
Okay, that was wonderful. I love you. All right, let's talk about Dire Chasm, or Bad Hole, as you like to say.
Bad Hole, yes.
So this shit... Okay, I've said this multiple times about Warhammer Underpants, about how they come out with cool stuff, and I want to play Warhammer Underpants. This is the kind of shit that will get me to play Warhammer Underpants for real this time.
Yeah.
I've said that when it comes to fantasy, I'm all about goblins, blah, blah, blah. I'm not, all right? I'm all about fucking vampires. Listen, gang, I was born in 1985, all right? When I was in middle school, I saw a little movie called Interview with a Vampire, and that set my tastes for just about everything for the rest of my life, and still does. And I absolutely love the old school Vampire Count aesthetic from older editions of Warhammer Fantasy. That is 100%. Oh, god damn it.
Fuck you, Baltimore!
A lot of that going on.
Windmill slamming that fuck you, Baltimore button.
100% my shit. And the Crimson Court is a 4-person Warhammer Underpoints warband, and they are some of the best vampire models I've ever fucking seen. I am all about it.
Yeah, they're absolutely fantastic. Like, they also showed off a Soulblight vampire pretty recently, which was cool. I think these are cooler because, again, Warhammer Underpants is where all the best models that Age of Sigmar gets go. Like, I mean,
you could just say all of the best models. Well, let's actually pump the brakes on that for what we're talking about next. But this shit is exactly what I want from vampires. Like, they've gone and done the whole ghoul thing.
Yeah, which I never found that compelling as, like...
No, I don't care about that.
They're thralls. They're cool to have as the supporting cast, but I don't want them as my main characters.
No, I want the vampire nobles, man.
Yeah.
With the armor and the swords and the arrogance.
Yeah.
Like, that's the good shit.
That's the story. That's where the character is. And that's the thing that makes, like, the thralls kind of worthwhile is, like, yeah, you paint 100 skeletons, 50 zombies, whatever, and then at the end of it, you get to paint a really cool fucking necromancer or this haughty vampire noble with a raised collar and, like, a basket hilt sword, and that's where we go with this.
Who's, like, just mugging, just dramatic as shit, just petty and terrible.
Yeah, because, like, if we go, there's 4 models in this little set, as we said, like, it's got, like, a winged dude with a mace who's kind of, like, thrall-esque. He's cool, but he's also kind of, again, he's the thrall, like, very obviously. But, like, you got this very imperious, like, lead vampire with this blood red armor with that fancy basket hilt sword, that, like, cool curved dagger.
Good.
And it is just, like, the Batwing motifs all over his armor, like,
he's
right
got,
out
like,
of the John Blanche
Batwing
artwork.
cape too. God damn it, it's so good.
Yeah, and he's got, like, the Widow's Peak. Like, he's, like, an aspirational, like, goth life goal. He rules. Yeah. Then you've got this, like, kind of almost, like, pirate looking, like, lady vampire.
Yeah.
And she's fucking cool with, like,
double swords, baby.
Double swords, sword going through the hair, the bustier, the little hip armor. Like,
yes.
She looks fucking dope as hell. And of course, that big 80s hair, which rules. And then this very, like, Manfred von Karstein looking vampire.
Oh no, this guy, he's got a two-handed mace, and he's standing there, and he has a very static pose, but I'm here for it, man. Well, like, this is the kind of guy, if this was like an 80s cartoon, like, this guy, he's, like, big and strong, and he's like the henchman, but he's the henchman that's good at kicking ass. Maybe he's not so smart, but he's good. He would have been my favorite character in the show. Yeah, like, immediately, just looking at him,
yeah,
I'm all about
100% be the one played by, like, a professional wrestler in, like, the live movie adaptation. Like, he's just big, he's burly, and he looks nasty. And God, he's such a good fucking model.
No,
and
his poses, these models are so good.
Well, the thing is,
I want these. I want to paint them up. I want to. I will play Warhammer Underpants. I don't want to, like, keep up with cards and do the collectible card game part of that game at all. But I want these models. I want to paint them.
And the thing is, for what it's worth, you can 100% play with just the deck that comes in the box with them and do fine Like, yeah, don't, if you go to like one of those grand tournaments that are happening these days, you're not going to do so well, but you can still totally have fun with it. Like, that's how I generally play, because my brain is already small. My attention span is even smaller, and I'm not going to, and like, it's so full of rules in that head of mine. I don't want to try to figure out what the best deck out there is. I just want to push some cool models around and play with the Warhammer Underpants' mechanics, which are very fun. Like, it's a fun game.
Yeah.
I do kind of feel like the collectible part of it keeps it more alive, but also kind of raises the barrier to entry in a way I'm not super down with. But I think these models are fucking aces. And
I want them.
The crazy thing is, they're a very close second for the best models they showed off during this preview stream.
Oh yeah, that's the best part, is that like what's most exciting. Oh god damn it!
Fuck you, Baltimore!
Damn, bud! God damn!
It's getting regional.
It's getting hecka regional.
It's a hyper regional podcast. What's the coolest thing about this stream was not even these awesome vampires, but it is in fact Warhammer Quest Cursed City.
A few episodes ago, we talked about where we want to see Warhammer Quest go next, with the expectation to go for a 40k one again, since Blackstone Fortress seemed to have much more of an impact than Silver Tower and so on. But they went not just into Age of Sigmar, but like hard into this like Mordheim.
They went hard into Mordheim, which is the exact place where they should have gone. Now, it's not called Mordheim anymore. It's the cursed city of Ulfenkarn, which, sure, whatever. Don't care about the name. It's fucking Mordheim. Okay. So this is like if you crossed Warhammer Fantasy with like Bloodborne.
Yeah, this is hard on the Bloodborne aesthetic, and that is
so good.
What I'm fucking down for. Like, again, they've only shown 2 models here. There's a little preview animation, which is like really cool and atmospheric and like very stylish with just like that red, black, white sort of aesthetic. And you can see other stuff in there. Like, you can see hints of some of the little critters that are going to be running around, some of the other heroes you can play. But the 2 models they've shown off are like my ideal witch hunter model and my ideal creepy dude model.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got our vampire hunter Jelson Derek, which, you know, fantasy name,
Warhammer fantasy name specifically.
Who he's got
I'm sorry, what if his name is Derek, like Jelson Derek, Derek?
Darrock.
Yes.
So Darrock.
No,
Derek. Jelson Derek.
Jerry Derek.
Old Jerry Derek. He's got the pilgrim hat, you know, the classic witch hunter look, with a rifle and an underslung stake launcher.
Yep.
And I'm
right
not talking.
Painkiller.
I'm not talking about a filet mignon. Oh god damn it.
Fuck you, Baltimore!
I'm talking about a fucking STAKE, a steak, baby. The Crimson Court better watch the fuck out when this guy's around, because, oh boy, he's got the hammer to hammer the stakes in. He looks fantastic.
He's got that big, assumedly silver broadsword on his back, too. No,
absolutely.
This dude is like the old witch. I did a video for my old Cam Hammer YouTube channel, which is, again, youtube.com/Cam Hammer Show, if you ever want to check out what I used to do. And I did a video called The Model That Launched an Army. And when I did one of the armies I talked about was my Empire army, and the models that launched it were the captain with the Empire captain with the helmet, the flintlock pistol, and the hammer, and the old witch hunter model who had like that, like the big hat with a feather on it. He was drawing a pistol. He had the big broadsword on his back. And this dude is like that guy, but more grimdark. And I adore him. He's got
he's so good.
Well, like
he's so good. But here's the thing, Campbell.
Yeah.
He's not the best model from this reveal of Cursed City, because the best model goes to Gorslav the Gravekeeper. Now, not grave digger, but grave. He doesn't dig the graves; he keeps the graves. Though, if Grave Digger, the monster truck, was in this game, that would be hella fucking cool.
That'd be even better.
I would buy, also, I don't know, 6 copies.
Dan, it is not pronounced Grave Digger; it's pronounced Grave Digger.
Grave Digger.
There's like 4 R's in each word. It's fantastic.
Well, Gorslav the Gravekeeper is so he is like the first boss in a Bloodborne type game.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
He's scary. He's very interesting. He's got a he's got this like shovel axe situation going on. He's got meat hooks. He's got a noose. He doesn't look like he has eyes, but he's got this whole big headdress thing going on, and he looks like the first boss in a horror themed a video game.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love this aesthetic so much. I've never played Bloodborne because the Dark Souls-esque games I just know that I would be incredibly frustrated by them.
They're very hard.
So I've stayed away, but I've watched some Let's Plays of Bloodborne. I've watched some streams and some videos on it, and the aesthetic is awesome, just so good. And this is that, but for Games Workshop models, and it's the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. I want this box so bad.
It has made me very excited to paint my Blackstone Fortress set, just because. Like I'm feeling that Warhammer Quest energy. Like again, playing Blackstone Fortress at Nova was it Nova or Adepticon? Adepticon. It
was Adepticon. We did it for like half an hour or something, or a couple hours maybe.
Yeah, we did
just
2 hours in a bar.
And we were like very tired and kind of drunk.
Kinda.
It wasn't the experience that Warhammer Quest should be.
Yeah.
But this, I was thinking about this. This would be great for you because you're in a situation where you might not have a lot of Warhammer players around you, and this could be the old what do you call it? The first one is free, right?
Yeah,
like when you like demo this kind of thing to your friends, say, hey, friendos, coming over, we got some Warhammer Quest we're going to play, and you have a good time with that. And it's, maybe the rules aren't as dense as the other Warhammer games. And then you can say, hey, friendo, well, I know you like that Warhammer Quest, but what about the rest of Warhammer?
Yeah, you tried the Warhammer Quest. Why not try the Warhammer Rest? But
that's fun. That's a good one.
But the thing is, like, I'm potting, like the people I'm potting with out here are large, like more role playing types, and this is like right up that alley.
Absolutely, yeah.
And again, like you said, you've never played Bloodborne just because it'll be hard, but like I adore that game and all the Soulsborne games. So like seeing,
I've never played Bloodborne or the Souls games because I knew that I would be bad at them, and it would not be fun for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's hard or I don't know if that, because I like there are games that are hard that I really do enjoy, but those games I think are predicated more on reaction speed and timing everything.
It's timing more than speed, yeah.
When it comes to video games, like I can't do platformers. They just frustrate the shit out of me, and like Souls games seem to me like more of like a 3D platformer than anything else, where you have to time everything perfectly or you get smashed by a giant fat man with a huge hammer. And I don't know, it just doesn't seem like a lot of fun for me. Now I understand that, like, at the same time, like I don't mind watching it on YouTube or something. Like, it's a cool game and it's a great aesthetic.
That's the thing, is even like I adore those games. I've beaten at least the first 3 Souls games, haven't beaten Bloodborne yet. And actually one of the things I really liked when I was in Prague, which find out more about that in our bonus episode for this month, is how much of the Souls architecture is seen in that area. And it just, I love this aesthetic. What I'm getting at is I love this aesthetic. I can't wait for the set to come out. I want Vampire Hunter. I want Grave Boy. I want everything.
Yeah, and you can see at the end of the teaser video they showed, there are some silhouettes involved, standing at the front of the gates of this city, and you can see the Jelson Derek's silhouette, and there's what looks like a Sylvaneth Archer silhouette, a Dwarf Gunner silhouette or something, and maybe one of those engineers from the Caradron thing, and then a real big guy silhouette who might be some sort of ogre, ogre.
Fuck you, Baltimore!
So, I haven't bought a Warhammer Quest thing. I didn't buy Blackstone Fortress because while the models were cool, it didn't speak to me. Silver Tower, never really got into that. But this shit is the closest we're going to get to Mordheim. And hell, you could probably use a lot of these minis in a Mordheim campaign if you wanted to. Good. And I am, oh, bud, this is it. This is it. This is what I want. Okay. That being said, let's move on to the shittiest, dorkiest, and most loserish of all the Space Marine chapters. That's right, Dark Angels. They're coming out. They're going on pre-order this weekend, and we've been introduced to a whole bunch of stuff. We got new rules, some honestly meh psychic powers, a couple of interesting stats, and something I really like, their super doctrine, which happens in the tactical doctrine. If you've got assault or rapid fire weapons, you can use them while in engagement range with units you're engaged with.
Oh.
So they can be firing bolters and plasma and all this stuff into combat, which I thought is a really fun thing. And you combine that with their doctrine, which is they get +1 to hit when they're standing still. If a Dark Angel unit can survive the charge, not only are they getting +1 to hit because they didn't move, but they're shooting their big guns at you at the same time, or on the same turn, I should say. So Dark Angels, they look pretty fucking gnarly. And then we got a couple of articles talking about how you can do all Ravenwing and all Deathwing with some very interesting wrinkles in there. I'm worried the Dark Angels might be good.
That'd be a first. I mean,
I don't think Dark Angel players are ready for this.
I don't think any of them. I think they're so averse to their rules being good at this point. Like they might even have a fear response.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
If I were them. Okay, so in one of the articles, the Ravenwing article, though, they did show one of the new Storm Speeders painted black and one of the Invader ATVs painted black because Ravenwing colors are black. And my dude, oh, they might have bitten me with this one. They might have gotten me.
Do you think they converted you on the ATV?
Well, I've always been a fan of the ATV just because it's stupid. And the Storm Speeder, I honestly do like the look of, but I wasn't planning on buying any of them anytime soon because I've got other stuff to work on, and they just don't really fit with the army that I plan on running when I can play regularly again. But these things look really cool in black.
Yeah, they do look good. It does it come in black? Yeah. No, these look great. Even Brother Tinnitus looks great up there. Yeah, I mean, the Storm Speeders and the thing I'm most excited to get for my Marines. I want Gladiators. I think they're really cool, but Storm Speeders are good too. And you know what? Fine. Fucking Dark Angels mag dumping in point blank range. Cool to me. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, so that's a lot of cool stuff coming out, man. I really want that Cursed City so bad. Like these last two bits of this preview, the Crimson Court and the Cursed City, are like they have got me hella fucking hype, man. Like it is happening over here. All right, we got to move on though.
We do.
We make the call. This one's from Cameron Johnstone via email. And Cameron says, my local gaming group has been discussing the possibility of starting a crusade at some point in the near future. And while I am, of course, super down for this, I can't help but wonder how to sort out what faction everyone plays. Between us, we'd probably be able to get damn close to one player per faction. But especially right now, it seems like most players would feel left out since they'd be lacking access to army-specific crusade goodies. How can we ensure everyone is having a good time without the whole campaign just being a bunch of Space Marines fighting each other for some reason, with one or two Necron armies thrown in for spice? Should we just wait until we all have codexes?
I feel like the issue is, I think in the case of something like this, like there are some generic Crusade rules you can use, and you can just kind of play from there and then just review whenever, like, let's say someone's a Tyranid player or whatever. And then, well, what do you know? Tyranids came out in March or whatever. All right, cool. Well, let me the Tyranid player, just kind of get to, like, keep your experience points, keep your roster, readjust things however you need to. Because, again, it's Crusade. It doesn't need to be the most knife-edge balanced thing in the world. And that's fine. That's more than fine. However, I do understand the frustration of, like, everyone is the same army. It happens whenever you do a campaign and everyone's like, I want to do Space Marines, I want to do Space Marines, I want to do Space Marines, and your campaign is 7 Space Marine players and 1 Orc player, and, well, this is going to be compelling. It's the kind of thing where, like, it might feel shitty, but, like, if people have multiple armies, especially multiple armies they like to play, you can kind of nudge them. Be like, hey, bud, I know you want to play your Marines, but you got a Tau army too that, and we don't really have a Tau in this thing. Would you mind using that?
Well, hold up. Don't play Tau. Tau is brutally bad in 9th edition right now.
Do play Tau if it sings to your heart, okay?
Maybe in Crusade it's easier for them, but, like, the fact is that you got to hold objectives, and Tau just can't fucking hold objectives right now. It's really, and they can't clear people off objectives using melee. So they're in a bad place. They need a new codex real fucking bad.
That's fair.
And I'm not saying that as a person who has any sort of negative feelings towards Tau. I have matured past that. Thank you very much. But it is a book that is in dire need of help. I think you're right, Campbell. I think that people should just understand that it's a group activity, your crusade, and just sort of like, all right, well, maybe my Tyranids don't have a book yet, but there's still cool things in the rule book for Crusade. Codex or no.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of fun you can have. And I think it's a great idea to say, oh, if your book comes out during the Crusade, just fucking re-rack,
Yeah.
Like, all right, well, these guys got this. You can just like fill out all of your experience that you've already used or your Crusade relics. You can just refill that shit.
Yeah.
Pulling from the new book. Have some fun with it. It's Crusade. It's supposed to be fun. But my last thing, I think, Cameron, just play. Just do it. If you guys want to do Crusade, just do it.
Yeah, you're not
Shia LaBeouf that shit. Just do it.
You're not. It's if you just keep waiting till let's say you want to wait till everyone has their codex or whatever, and it's just gonna. There's always going to be like the goalposts are going to shift. It's going to be wait till everyone has their codex. Well, this first army, their codex is bad now, so let's wait until they get a new codex, and so on and so on and so on. So just
maybe you're in Australia. Maybe it's safe to go out and like see other people, and if that's the case, Cameron, just fucking get after it. But be safe, try not to, remember there's a pandemic happening. So
yeah,
just play.
Yeah.
If you can, if it's safe.
Yep.
All right. This segment, Campbell.
We're on our bullshit.
I'm going to part the kimono a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times Campbell, he suggests a segment for us to have. And sometimes I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I am not the most online person in the world. However, I do a podcast with one of the most online peoples ever.
It's a curse.
And some of the memes that he presents me with, I just don't know. So I don't really know what this segment is going to be about. But I would love to give you the opportunity, Campbell, to introduce it to the listeners.
So this is a segment. First of all, thank you for the preamble. This is a segment that I call Himbo Hoedown. First off,
that's not. Oh no. Hunkiest
Himbo Hoedown. I'm sorry, I didn't get the Triple H in there. His Emperor's hunkiest Himbo Hoedown. So this is, well, first off, there's many definitions of Himbo. It depends who you ask, depends where you go, but the generally kind of agreed upon metric is someone at the center of a Venn diagram of kind, beefy, and stupid. And we're going to share some of our favorite himbos of the 41st millennium here, but gotta kind of grade that on a curve because putting kind in that whole thing, it's Warhammer. Like, no one's that nice. Everyone's a little bloodthirsty at the best of days. So these are our picks for who kind of fits in the middle of that sort of himbo Venn diagram. Because again, if you're just kind and beefy, well, in that case, you're probably just a big dog. If you're beefy and stupid, you're just a jock. If you're kind and stupid, well, you're probably just a decent fella. But when you're at the center of that is where that is the crux. That is the himbo. The
crux terminatus, if you will.
Yeah. Exactly. So I've picked 3 himbos that I would like to talk about. I hope you did as well.
Yeah, sure.
If you did not, we can fire back and forth. So I'm going to start with who I think is...
Listen, I'm just going to say I did pick them, and I maybe you'll figure out what really happened.
I look forward to seeing what mental calculus you went through to come to the conclusions you came with. And
you're gonna watch listen to my brain do a whole lot of gymnastics here, but I'm excited.
If I hear like a steam whistle blowing as smoke starts popping out of one or both of your ears, I'll know why. I also have a gut feeling we might have some overlap here because despite there being a cavalcade of giant men in the 41st millennium, not many really fit the middle of this sort of definition. So I'll start with who I would say is kind of a prototypical himbo, who is Nork Deadog. He is enormous.
Oh, yes.
He's dumb as hell, smart for an ogre, but still not very bright, and unshakably loyal. He is the Imperial Guard, or Astra Militarum's most decorated bodyguard. He has saved the lives of over 100 officers in his time, and he's also been written as being very shy at parties and social gatherings, which is extremely cute.
No, Nork Deadog is a great character to introduce me to the idea of the himbo. And that is, he's big, he's strong. I don't know if he's like handsome though, because I think the himbo aesthetic is one of male beauty as well.
Often, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Beefy is kind of the definition I've seen thrown around a lot, though, because if it's just like kind, beefy, stupid, well, if you start going kind and stupid and beefy and, you start kind of introducing some sort of too many factors.
Okay.
Because if they were just kind, hot, and stupid, that opens up a whole different selection of himbos.
Yeah. Yeah, Nork Daydog is a great character. I just wish regular Ogren got actual use.
I do too.
Bulgren get use in guard armies because they're really the only legit melee threat that you see with guard. But Bulgren just don't have a point.
Regular Ogren don't have a point, yeah.
Yeah, so sorry, I said Bulgren
That's
twice
fine.
there. So regular Ogren, yeah. That's great. That's a great pick, man. Mm-hmm. I got one.
Yeah.
The second edition Tyrannid Carnifex. Yes, sir. Strong himbo energy from the Hug effects. Oh boy. Listen, when all you have is 4 enormous claws, and all you can do is hug your friends until they're dead, then you're a himbo.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. You want to talk about beefy. Listen, Carnifexes. Carnifeces? Nope, that's not good.
That's what happens after the Carnifex eats you.
Carnifexes, they don't have a monopoly on beefiness.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. They're for a long time in Warhammer 40,000, early 90s till early thousands, they were just about the beefiest boys around.
Well, also, you want beef? Carnifex means butcher.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
That's a good pull. I have an uncle who's a butcher, and dogs love him.
You don't say.
He just goes around dogs, and the dogs just flip out. They just love being near him.
That sounds like a better profession than I would have initially anticipated now.
Right?
Anyway, back to your beef effects.
All right, who you got?
All right. I would say the next one is another pull from not only the Imperial Guard, but from the closest thing to literature in the 41st Millennium, which is Triagon Bragg from Gaunt's Ghosts. He's
Bragg.
He's the biggest, strongest dude in the entire outfit.
And dumbest.
He ain't bright. He's brighter than Let's On, but he's not that bright. If you look at the artwork of him from that Sabbat Worlds Crusade book, he's a handsome fella. He is able to wield crew-served weapons all on his own. He is described multiple times as being a gentle giant, as being kind of like the friendly, jovial dude in the outfit, beloved by everyone who isn't Elijah Koo. And he also distills Sacra, so he even has a hobby. And he used to be a lumberjack on Tanith, which is like one of the most himbo professions.
Oh, it's extremely himbo-ish.
Yeah.
A lumberjack on Tanith. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Trigon Bragg, he's a great character in those books.
Absolutely is.
And I don't want to say anything else.
Nope. I will not say anything either.
All right, I'm up next.
Yeah.
I got the Beast of Nurgle, my friend. I'm going conceptual here. If you haven't noticed this,
I am noticing this.
The Beast of Nurgle. Listen, man, this model is smiling. This model is having a good time out there. All right. All it wants to do is spread the love to everybody else. And by the love, I mean plagues and disease and putrefaction.
Love is also in the eye of the beholder, yes.
But in this case, they're just trying to hang out, man. They see some friends over there. I got to get to my friends and give those friends a big old hug. That's all he wants to do.
Yeah,
I love the Beast of Nurgle. The new Beast of Nurgle models are excellent. The faces in these models are fantastic. It looks like you got 3 for box, and oh my god, they're so funny. The Beast of Nurgles also help out by being pretty damn good on the tabletop these days.
I do like the plastic Beast of Nurgle because I can actually tell what it's supposed to be, which I could never tell with the old metal one.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. No, these are great. I'm a huge fan of the beasts, and I think they have a strong himbo energy because they just want to hang out and spread the love, baby.
All right, I'll accept that. All right, and my final choice is Leman Russ, the Himbo Primarch. So all Primarchs, save Lorgar, have beefy down, and Leman Russ is one of the beefier ones. Like, he's beefy enough to break Magnus's back over his knee.
Do we call our stealthy Primarchs, would we call them beefy?
I mean, Korax is still a pretty big fella.
I mean, Alfarius and oh my god. Oh.
Fuck you, Baltimore!
Again.
Them two were canonically the same size as regular Marines.
That's fair.
Which are, of course, beefy.
But
compared to Primarchs, Alfarius and Aemagon were small.
That's true. That's true.
And then you got Night Haunter and god damn it.
Fuck you, Baltimore!
Damn, you were on one today.
Why am I so regional? I haven't even been outside of my house. I haven't talked to anybody.
The regional is coming from inside the house.
Oh, God. The Night Haunter and Corvus Corax. I don't know if those would be considered beefy. They're skinny stealth boys.
They are skinny stealth boys, I suppose. But again, with Primarchs, you're grading on a beefy curve. Like, they're all a bit beefy because they're still Space Marines. But yeah, I get you. But we're going astray of the point here, which is that Leman Russ is the Himbo Primarch. Because I described him as being beefy enough to break Magnus' back over his knee. He's a Primarch. He's a Space Marine. He can, like, caber toss a tank. Who cares? But, like, when it comes to kindness, he's a daddy's boy, and he loves his dogs, Frecky and Gary. As for stupid, I point you towards the entirety of the Space Wolves fluff, but even his challenges to the Emperor when he meets them are dumb as hell. They're an eating contest, which he won, a drinking contest that he won only because he drank all the booze, and then a fighting contest where he got his ass kicked. He's been sucker punched by the Lion, and instead of like sticking around to help preserve culture and save the Imperium, he ran away into space hell to chase demons. So he is giant, he's hot, he's dumb, he's strong. He is the Primarch Himbo.
That's a really good one. A really, really strong. Maybe he might have the strongest Himbo energy of anybody in Warhammer 40,000.
I think that's fair. I mean, that's why I saved him for last.
Yeah, now, I don't know if I can top. Well,
here's
that.
the part.
That's the issue.
Here's the part where, like, and here's my third choice for Himbo: the Leman Russ battle tank. It's dependable. It's huge.
No, I'll take it. I think I think I can do a little bit of mental gymnastics here and make that work. It's large. Mm-hmm. It's very heavy. It's got extremely heavy armor. It can operate in any sort of battlefield. It can burn almost anything for fuel.
Important for any Himbo.
It does not have advanced targeting mechanics. It is slow and stately, if you will. Mm-hmm. I think the Leman Russ battle tank takes Leman Russ and distills the Himbo-ness out of him into the perfect Himbo cube that is the main battle tank of the Astra Militarum.
A main battle Himbo.
I love it. I'm with it, man. I've been going conceptual this whole time, so this is perfect for me.
Well, this is collaborative conceptual, so it's even better.
Man, we're like Harlem Heat, man. I'm Stevie Ray, you're Booker T, and we are clowning on these fools. And of course, these fools are our listeners.
Our dear listeners, you, our dear listener.
I was watching wrestling YouTube before we started the show because I'd finished all of my day job.
This is my shocked face, yeah.
So I don't know I don't know. I was very close to calling myself the Nature Boy, Dan Boyd, at the beginning of the show. Very close, but I pulled up at the last minute.
That's okay. If we talk about wrestling again, I can be the one who introduces you with the Nature Boy, Dan Boyd, or whatever you go for that day.
You got to get on this wrestling, bud. You'd like it.
I do. I know I would. I've enjoyed very much what I've watched.
It's just on TV. You can just watch it.
I know.
Don't watch WWE.
No, watch AEW.
You got AEW, New Japan. That's the two. Those are the two best ones. All right. Anyways, let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. That was a segment that I thought, because I'm ancient and grizzled and calcified.
Yep. Taller than an oak, older than a mountain. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know about this segment, but it turns out I enjoyed the segment. I had a good time.
Oh, me too.
Anyways, let's move on to yet another edition of Crusade Focus. Now, I'm loving these Crusade segments. I hope the listeners are too. It's it's a really fun way to get to know an army.
Yeah.
That we don't play.
And not only just getting to know an army in the like, I read the codex, now I know how to play them, but in like the getting to know all about you.
Getting
to know the heart of the army and what their steez is. It's going to actually figure out what their whole situation is, because it integrates the lore and the rules in a much more holistic way than the already pretty extensive rules that are in the matched play section.
Nice.
Cool.
Like I was saying, this Crusade focus, it's fun. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun. This is the best part of every book that comes out. And, a lot, I don't know, man, just people, Crusade is great. Crusade is fun. But everybody's always talking about match play.
Yeah, like there's no meta watch for Crusade, as far as I'm aware anyway. And yeah, this also means that we are still talking about 40k in some actual capacity on this show.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen all that much, but, we're still ostensibly a 40k podcast. All right, let's talk about a Crusade focus, Blood Angels. Now, of course, the Blood Angels are my brother's favorite 40k faction. And, of course, my brother does not play 40k. But he does every now and then keep up with what's happening on... Okay, here's a question.
Okay.
How do you pronounce their home planet?
Ball.
Yeah, same here, Ball.
Yeah, it's like the throne of Ball. Like
Ball.
Same thing.
Baal. How about that?
Baal. Just put it into fucking Speakonia and see what comes out.
No, I don't care. All right, so Crusade focused Blood Angels. This is so far, this I think is the coolest Crusade focus we've read.
It is the one with the most. It's got the most like bespoke sort of like mechanics within it.
Oh, totally. Yes.
Which is very interesting to me. Do I think it all necessarily works as well as it could? Not necessarily, but
no. It's not mechanically the best, not by a long shot, but it is. It's got so much flavor.
It does have a lot of flavor.
That blood flavor that we all love so much.
Nice coppery sanguinala flavor. Yeah, like this whole section is like, the more we talk about this, the more we kind of get it. There's a through line of sacrifice and self-sacrifice going all the way throughout it, which is extremely thematic for Blood Angels.
Yeah.
And as for that very complex Crusade mechanic, we are going to get to that when we get to that, because we, as usual with Crusade Focus, we run through the sort of the agendas, the requisitions, the sort of like unique stuff, the Crusade relics and honorifics, what have you. Like there's a whole there's all the stuff you have come to expect from, say, the Death Watch or Space Marines Codex, but given that really rich coppery flavor you can only get from Ball.
Yeah, this is like I said, this one's great. And let's get into it. Let's start with the agendas. So right off the bat. Right off the bat, I love it. An honorable death in battle. If a Death Company unit dies in battle, you may remove it from the order of battle. And every Blood Angels unit in the army gets 1 experience, and you get a requisition point.
Yeah.
However, if you take this and a Death Company unit doesn't die, and you don't have Asterath the Grim, the special character, you do not get the 1 requisition point at the end of the battle that you normally would for completing a battle.
Right. I really like that this is... I feel like there's been a rule for having the Death Company die being a good thing existed somewhere. Because, like, the Death Company, they're called the Death Company because they are, like, absolutely bug nuts insane, and they are just seeking a glorious death in battle. Like, it is their job to die.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with the Blood Angels, is that Sanguinius's death at the hands of Horus, not on Terra, but above Terra on the Vengeful Spirit, like, it resonated psychically with all of the Blood Angels.
Right.
And most of them went insane at that moment.
Right.
And insane, they call it the Black Rage. They are obsessed with killing and blood, and they cannot be controlled. So what happens in 10,000 years after Sanguinius's death is that these Marines that fall to the Black Rage get put in the Death Company, where because you can't control them, you can't give them orders. All you can do is point them at the enemy. Mm-hmm. And hope that they kill as much of the enemy before that they die.
Right.
So when you're talking about, like, if you're a Blood Angels commander, what do you do with the Death Company? You just turn them on. That's all you can do. And so this is one of the cool things about, like you said, this whole sacrifice mechanic of letting the Death Company take the brunt of the damage, and then everybody else is better for it. Now, Campbell, you might be thinking, well, I don't want to get rid of all my sweet Death Company units this early in a crusade. Get out of here. Well, friends, stay tuned and listen, because if you're playing Blood Angels in a crusade, you're not going to run out of Death Company units.
You are not. Death Company are very much at the heart of this, which they should be. Like, they are they are like one of the star units of the army.
Right, and that's kind of the sad thing about Blood Angels, is that they all end, except Mephiston. He's the only one who didn't, but he's a cut above the rest. They all end with going insane and dying in battle, and all the Blood Angels know this. So it's kind of a cool mechanic here. So next we have Purity through Bloodshed. This one is you select the Blood Angels unit, and when I say Blood Angels, I mean Blood Angels, not Death Company.
Right.
So just straight up, that's the thing. If I say Death Company, I mean Death Company. If I say Blood Angels, I mean Blood Angels, but not Death Company.
There's very few rules that actually do interpollinate between the two here.
So you select a Blood Angels unit at the end of the battle, earn 1 experience, maximum 5 for each enemy unit destroyed in battle, and this can also be used to remove a flaw point. And we'll get to the flaw in a little bit.
Right.
So this one is cool. This is, the Blood Angels are heavily focused towards melee combat. And so this is one of the things where, like, okay, I've got some Blade Guard veterans who are going to rip shit against my opponent. Well, I'll use this Purity through Bloodshed, and you might be able to get them 5 experience in one battle.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of these rules interacting with flaw points and Black Rage tests, which we'll get to in a minute.
We'll get there. All right, next we have Valor of the Angels. This one is It's got a pretty complicated system, so I'm not going to go through it. But basically, you can get loads of experience for Blood Angel characters and get 1 for every other unit if a character dies and is removed from the order of battle. Right. It's got a lot of stuff to it, but it's mostly built around getting experience for your characters.
Yeah, just by having them chop shit up. Namely characters, monsters, warlords, whatever. Or if they die, they get experience too.
And then our 4th and final, I think this time,
is the final agenda, yeah.
Okay, thank you. It's called Search for the Cure, and this is another one where you can have apothecaries do actions, and they get extra experience for it. We've seen that in the Marine Codex. This is a little bit of different flavor because you can have multiple apothecaries all get experience based on this agenda. And Blood Angels, Blood Angel apothecaries, they have this thing called the Blood Chalice.
The Blood Cup, please.
That allows their auras to grow, and they do a couple of different things from regular apothecaries. So you end up seeing a lot of them. Sanguinary priests, I think they're called.
Yep.
So you see a lot of those in the and they count as apothecaries in Blood Angel armies. So
I do think this one's a little funny because it's called Search for the Cure, and it's not like the cure to their 10,000-year-old genetic flaw is going to be lying around on the ground.
No, I every time I see the word cure, I think of the band Cure.
Oh, okay.
Show me how you do that.
Yeah, no.
Blood. Blood, 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 blood.
And
blood, 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 blood. Blood, 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 blood.
However far away, I will always blood you. There we go. All right, let's keep going into requisitions.
All right, requisitions. Descent into madness.
Please don't requisite me.
No, you have to stop that immediately.
Never.
Descent into madness. You can make a Blood Angels captain or lieutenant into a Death Company captain or lieutenant instead of taking a battle scar. That is, that's a central part of Blood Angels characters is you can take extra Death Companies. So because normally with a Space Marine detachment, you can take 1 captain per. But in Blood Angels, one of their core mechanics is if you have Death Company captains, you can take them along with your regular captains.
Yeah. Cool.
They can't lead your army and they can't get promoted to company command, but you get multiple captains, which generally means multiple smash captains.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing with, like, this is another one of those things like putting a character in a dreadnought where it's something that has existed in the lore, but hasn't really had any means of kind of taking root in the tabletop, because you don't have just your captain turn 3 turn into a crazy dude. Like, no, it's something that is a descent. So I think this is really cool to bring that into it. And I really like that if you are a Death Company captain or lieutenant, you don't count against that limit, because, yeah, the captain of the third company, if he goes bug nuts, blood nuts insane, he's not going to be a very effective captain anymore. They're going to have someone else lead the company. He's just going to be a cruise missile they throw out there until he dies. I like it a lot.
Right. All right. Next, we have Custodian of the Lost. This one is you give it to a character who has this rule.
Chaplain.
And as long as... Oh, sorry, chaplain. Thank you. And as long as the chaplain takes part in the battle, you can re-roll one of the Black Rage tests at the end of each battle. We will get to Black Rage tests in just a minute. Yeah. But this one just basically gives you a little bit of a buffer from the units you don't want turning into Death Company from turning into Death Company. Yeah. So like your Devastator squad with some good experience points, though they probably wouldn't make it to Death Company. And we'll see why in just a couple of minutes.
Again, another very fluffy sort of thing.
Next, we have Noble Heritage. All right, so this is a Blood Angels character gets one additional battle trait that does not count towards the limit that you get from gaining experience.
Yes, but it's a character with 71 or more experience points, which is a lot.
Psychers must take a Psychic Fortitude as one of their battle traits, and you can only do this once per character. So this is just a way to get your characters more skills.
Yeah,
which is cool.
It's fine. Yeah.
All right, and then finally we have Blood Cleansing. And this is just -1 flaw point for an infantry or biker unit. And listener, you might be saying to yourself at this moment, what is a flaw point? Well, I will invite one Campbell McLaughlin to explain.
Yeah, Cam Blood McSanguinator or whatever. So flaw points are something that every one of your units that is not Death Company or a named character keeps track of. And if you you kind of build these, you accrue these per unit, and if the unit like crosses the Rubicon Primaris or comes back as a Dreadnought, they still keep their flaw score. So basically, after each battle, you take a Black Rage test for every unit. You roll a d6, and if it's equal to or less than the number of enemy units destroyed by melee weapons by that unit, they fail the test and they gain a flaw point. So if your squad kills five units in melee and they roll like a 2, well, they get a flaw point. After every third flaw point, you roll 3d6. If it's less than their leadership, they're fine, and they lose 1 flaw point. If it equals to or exceeds that leadership, which it probably will, it is Black Rage time. So if it's this
is great. The unit succumbs to the Black Rage.
Right. So if it's a captain or a lieutenant, they succumb to madness for free, which is that stratagem or that requisition to turn one of your dudes into a Black Rage dude. They can succumb to madness for free, or they're destroyed. Any other character, so say like a librarian or chaplain or whatever, they just become a Death Company lieutenant, or they can be destroyed too. Dreadnoughts become Death Company dreadnoughts.
Which is to say, the character is removed from your order of battle, and you have the option to replace them in your order of battle with a Death Company lieutenant.
Right. And regular units like your Intercessor squad, your Devastator squad, whatever, they suffer a devastating blow result, losing 2d6 XP and 1 flaw point.
No, 1d6 XP, but if they have gone out of action and were to undergo a devastating blow normal, then it would be 2d6.
Yeah, so as for Death Company units, they don't gain experience points, they don't gain battle scars, and they automatically pass out of action tests to kind of represent the constant influx of Death Company dudes dying and going crazy and being added to them. And the cool thing is with Death Company units is they have 1 battle trait per battle, and it doesn't have to be the same one each time because they're representing different groups of dudes.
Right.
So if like a Primaris unit succumbs to the Black Rage, then 1 Death Company.
Well, hold up. You're blasting through this. You got to slow down a little bit. I'm sorry. You forgot to mention Dreadnoughts, because Dreadnoughts can become Death Company Dreadnoughts.
I did. Yeah. Dreads can become regular Death Company Dread, or can become Death Company Dreads when they fail that leadership.
Yeah, test. The Black Rage test. But Death Company units they have their own shit. You did mention that they can't get experience. They never take battle scars, and they never fail out of action tests. The free battle trait, I think, is really cool. It's not forever. You generate it at the beginning of each battle, and it goes away at the end of each battle. So meaning that it can change every game, which you did mention. That's right.
Yeah, because they're different dudes.
So units that aren't characters or dreadnoughts can become Death Company units if they fail Black Rage tests. So, like, again, the Devastator Squad example, probably not going to get a lot of flaw points because they're not killing things in combat.
Right.
But if they do fail, if they do get enough flaw points, they can become Death Company, a Death Company unit, not a Death Company Devastator Squad, but a Death Company Veteran Squad.
Yeah. And there's there's Primaris Death Company and regular Death
and regular
Company.
Death, yeah. And so a regular Marine becomes regular Death Company, and a Primaris Marine becomes Primaris Death Company.
Right. And Primaris ones, I think, get a second battle trait per battle as well. Which, because they're bigger, they get the better rules. And then as for Death Company characters and dreadnoughts, again, don't get experience points. They don't get honorifics. They can't be upgraded. And if they fail an out of action test, they actually are gone for good. Because they are that captain, that dreadnought, not just, 5 dudes.
No, it's just they get one battle trait, the Death Company, the Primaris ones.
Must have misread something.
They just mention Death Company Intercessors separately because it's a different battle. It's a different, what do you call it? Data sheet.
Gotcha.
So, Death Company characters, you already did mention that. Yeah, the Death Company stuff is really cool and really flavorful, and because that is the ultimate end of every Blood Angel.
Yeah, and it'd be weak if they didn't represent that so well. And it is like, I know we talk a lot about rules bloat, but this is like really narrative heavy rules bloat. This is the core of what makes the Blood Angels the Blood Angels. Right. And instead of just, red painted Marines who punch harder. This rules. The fact that it takes up a whole fucking page and is in a lot of ways not good mechanically for you, is actually very cool to me.
Well, I mean, I at the end of it, you just you could turn your characters who are good in combat into characters who are better in combat, or units who are good in combat into units that are better in combat.
Yes.
So it's and remember all this works on power level. So if a unit becomes a Death Company Veterans Squad or whatever, they could all have lightning claws or something cool, right? Or they could be Death Company intercessors with all the assault intercessor accoutrement, and have 5 or 6 attacks per whenever they charge, which is insane.
Yeah,
in a good way.
Yeah.
This is great. Like, again, it's Blood Angels. So at the end of the day, you're gonna have a lot of combat units to begin with. And you're just going to get better combat units, and you're going to have a recycling going through your army, which is fun, I think. Really, really fun.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Crusade Relics. So far, this is the best Crusade Relic section we've seen in a codex. Like, some of these are really fucking good.
Mechanically very good. Some of them are kind of boring. I think the Necron ones might be more fun, but I like some of these an awful lot.
Yeah, so you've got a Blade of Judgment, which turns a power sword into a Thunderhammer. The Decimator, which is a 24-inch heavy bolter, assault 3. It's a 24-inch assault 3, strength 5, AP1, D2, mastercrafted auto bolt rifle that auto hits.
Yeah, it's an auto rifle with an aimbot it owns.
Yeah. The Hood of Ball at +6 to Psychic Hood, and the Bearer can ignore any or all modifiers to Psychic tests. That's pretty fucking good. It's good. Figure of Death. This one is not much. It's just a Crozius that does leadership damage.
1 leadership on a unit, -1 leadership on a unit, kills the dude, which is that's cute.
Yeah, whatever. The Chalice of Ball gives the Blood Cup 9-inch aura, which is kind of insane. The Angel's Wing is really good. It's immune to Overwatch and can reroll charges for a jump pack character.
I'm pretty sure the Angel's Wing was a relic, like just a baseline relic in the previous Blood Angels Codex.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It wasn't a Crusade.
It was the same thing.
Yeah,
it's cool.
And then finally, the Encarmine Warblade.
Rules.
A damage 3 power sword that can do 2 extra mortal wounds on wound rolls of 6. It's insane. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, it's just a big fucking sword. And of course, that's the legendary relic. Like, that's the top of the pile, and it belongs there. It's crazy.
It costs 2 requisition points, and it adds 3 crusade points to the character that bears it. So it's a big deal. These relics are great. Blood Angel stuff, extremely flavorful. And then finally, we get to Blood Angels have their own honorifics. We talked about honorifics in the Space Marine Crusade focus, which is the captain ranks.
Yeah, Master of the Watch, Master of the Armory, etc.
Right, and so these are all Blood Angel themed honorifics, and they're all in-game stuff. So some of the honorifics for Space Marines are like campaign level honorifics, but in this case, all the honorifics are in-game, and they're okay. It seems.
Yes, there's Master of Sieges plus D3 command points if your opponent has any fortifications. Sweet.
No. Plus D3 command points, and then if your opponent has any fortifications, you get 3.
Oh, okay. Yep. All right.
Yeah, that was really good.
Okay, all right. That sucks a lot less. I misread it. I think I wanted it to just be if they had fortifications, because that's funnier to me. I actually really like.
Yeah, these aren't that interesting. Honestly,
I'll say
I don't think.
the one I do think is kind of interesting, just because of it's again a campaign level one, is Lord of Skyfall, where once per game you can basically deep strike unit for free, but rearm and resupply requisitions are free on aircraft specifically. I like that kind of
fun
idea, and it makes you think like, oh, if they do like a Master of the Fleet sort of character for Imperial Guard, they'll be able to do something like that for airplanes. But yeah,
because Imperial Guard planes are good. Anyways, finally, we are coming to the meat and or potatoes of this segment, the Blood Angel name generator. Campbell, are you ready to generate a name for me?
that's my way of saying yes.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Okay, this is, of course, a pair of D66 tables, which I adore. So your name is for Fonteus. Fonteus Arteros.
Fonteus Arteros. I love it.
Yeah.
Extremely Blood Angel-ish. All right, here, let's do for you.
Okay.
We got 43 here. So you are Karel.
Close enough to my actual name.
Karel Moriar.
That's. I bet if you like heard my actual name through like a Game Boy speaker, you might think that's what it is. So that's good enough for me.
I don't know. I think Fonteus deserves a quick. Love the Tarantella.
Oh yeah,
just love it. That's not the best name. Of course, the best name would be Chiore.
Chiore Castivar.
No, Chiore Traviola.
Oh, I think it's Chiore Spicari.
There's so many good ones.
Again,
here.
they're all like fucking like Renaissance Italian names.
There's Donatellus that's in there. Oh, really? Yeah, that's great. Marzio. How you doing? I'm Marzio.
Fucking
I'm Marzio Bardella.
Fucking Mazzi over here.
Marzio Bardella. Cesare Bellarius.
You think you're so smart, smarties? Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's
love
good.
it. One more time. Just for the listeners. You know they get a kick out of that Tarantella. All right, gang. That's it. That's it for the Crusade focus for Blood Angels. I think my favorite Crusade section so far.
I feel like Necrons might kind of have it for me still.
Okay.
But
I mean, Necrons is really good.
Necrons is really good. I do like that each Space Marines supplement has done something very fun and very flavorful for that chapter, separate from just the base Space Marines supplement or codex. And like, again, I imagine we're going to start seeing the old like Ultramarines, White Scars, whatever, kind of get, they'll probably come back around basis they can have a lot of these things in there too.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I think I'd really just like it for just the Crusade rules. Honestly, nothing else I care about at this point.
Yeah,
I like what they're doing a lot with this stuff.
Well, next show we're going to talk about Death Guard, and then Campbell, we will be fucking caught up.
Dark Angels might be out by then.
Might be. We'll see. All right, Fact or fan fiction? It's time. Let's do it.
Navigator, where the hell are we? Yells Ragmar Blackmane.
According to our maps, we are somewhere close to the edge of the galaxy. Galactic western side, my lord.
The navigator replies. What in the Emperor's name are we doing here? Ragmar yells once again.
Sir, we received a distress beacon. We are following it to its source.
The navigator replies. Well, where is that ship that sent the beacon? Bring it up on the display. A nearby serf jumps to obey, and an image of the Forward Unto Dawn appears on the nearby view screen. Ragmar glances at the image, then turns towards the nearby tech priest. What are we looking at here? The tech priest looks at his console, then replies to Ragmar.
Lord, with the data available and some hypothesis, I can theorize how this ship appears to be the way it is.
Ragmar motions for the tech priest to continue.
This ship has suffered trauma from some sort of warp failure. A resulting explosion sheared the ship in half.
Ragmar glances at the display again. Can there be any survivors? The tech priest glances at his console again.
We are reading a faint life sign along with a small power usage.
Ragmar touches his collar, triggering a shipwide transmission. Battle brothers, there's a ship near us. Haluvarn, assemble a team, and in case this is a trap, prepare for battle. Ragmar walks off the bridge. The door shuts behind him with a large clunk. Ragmar walks into the embarkation deck.
Oh, wow.
Ragmar walks into the embarkation deck and looks at the team Haluvarn has assembled. This team will go with me onto the derelict ship. Be prepared. We do not know what we may encounter, but the Emperor protects. The rest of the team yells, The Emperor protects! The bang of boarding torpedoes echoes throughout the embarkation deck as several glinting spots head towards the derelict ship. Moments later, the dawn echoes with the sound of several impacts. The boarding torpedoes open and a squad of space wolves exit them. Ragmar and the tech priest lead the way.
Lord, the aspect says that the life signature is several floors above us.
Team, we need to move a few floors up. Tavorn, get a melta charge on the ceiling, Ragmar yells. A nearby space wolf complies with a bomb-like charge on the ceiling a few meters ahead of the team. A few seconds later, a boom sounds and the molten circle 5 meters wide is melted in the ceiling. Ragmar leads the way, pausing to help his fellow Marines through the gap.
Lord, the aspect says the life signature is only 15 meters ahead of it.
The tech priest says, while reading a thin device in his hands. Team, move out. Tavorn, cover our rear, Ragmar growls. The team moves forward, pointing bolters at nearby openings. Finally, they arrive at their destination. The tech priest heads towards a large tank, which is chilling the air near it. Nearby, a holopad warms up, and a blue woman-like figure appears. Greetings, I am Ascension AI, known as Cortana. If you are here to rescue us, I am thankful. I am Ragmar Blackmane of the Space Wolf Space Marine chapter. You said us, and I assume there is a person in this thing? That is true, Ragmar. He is my protector, and I would be proud to call him friend. Then, ma'am, we shall do all that is in our power to release him from this thing, but we do not have the means to do so on the dawn. I must take both of you and your companion to the Emperor's vengeance. Ragmar replies. That is all fine. Please do not lose my data holder, Cortana says. The tech priest pipes up.
I will treat the data card as if it was my own mechanical heart.
Look near the base of this pedestal. There's a data card will pop out of a slot, and don't forget my friend, Cortana replies. The tech priest yanks the data card out of the slot, then reverently puts it in a pocket. A pair of space wolves grab the tube, then head back towards the boarding torpedoes.
Oh, man, that one sucked. I don't even know what the fuck they were referencing.
That was what do you mean referencing?
It's from Halo? Cortana? Is she from Halo?
And also Windows 10, yes.
Was it a Windows 10? And also, who's Ragmar Blackmane? Is that Ragnar's brother?
That's Ragnar's cousin, I assume.
Cousin, even. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
Jeez.
I think he got the notion that this is a bit of fan fiction.
What a surprise!
Now the thing is, in that tank. I didn't tell you who's in that tank. So this could be Halo fan fiction, and they could be taking Master Chief out, or this could be Microsoft Windows 10 fan fiction, and that could be Bill Gates in that tank. So which is it?
It's Clippy.
Oh, fuck!
It's fucking Clippy in the tank.
Well, dear listeners, and also Dan, write to contact@40kbadcast.com to let us know who you think is in the tank in this fan fiction called
Don't bother writing in. It's fucking Clippy.
It's Master Clip. In this fan fiction, The Howl of Wolves by Hunter Mjolnir. When a detachment of space wolves finds a drifting cruiser, what will become of its occupants? Read to find out. The word processor I use forces the story in large chunks. I am sorry. Please get past this flaw.
The word processor I use has written most of the bad story. It's not my fault.
Fair.
That's what everybody says. I don't believe you, Hunter Mjolnir. All right, let's do some plugs. Let's get out of here. Goonhammer. It's a website we both write for. I've been doing a lot of work there lately on a module for Necromunda to change up that game a little bit called The Lost Zone. Having a ton of fun writing that. Trying to make Necromunda a little more like it used to be, which is to say, not a well-armed militia slinging fucking multi-meltas everywhere, but scavengers on the edge of civilization trying to stay alive one more day.
Yep. Dipshits with exploding guns catching on fire the way God intended.
Exactly. You can also find us on social media. Twitter is a place that, while I do not recommend going there, we're both there. I am at DB_sleazy, and he is at Brother SRM. And boy, oh boy, is that a hell site.
And yet, it's not the worst of them. For that, you have to head over to facebook.com/40k Badcast, where we have social media presence there, too.
You have social media presence there.
Me representing we, but yes.
The royal we, huh?
That is the royal we. And if you want to engage with my stuff on a dead website, you can go to cam2d.tumblr.com for all of your Tumblr-based non-pornographic needs. Meanwhile, if you want to support our show, we do have a Patreon, which I mentioned earlier in the show, which is patreon.com/40k Badcast. We do bonus episode every single month, so check that out. Listen on in. Have a good old time.
We recorded one yesterday.
Yes, in a rare doubleheader for us. We did 2 days in a row.
I have not edited it yet.
No, hopefully it is out by the end of the month.
It will
You'll
be.
find out, dear listener.
It will be. Have no fear. But I'll probably do this one first.
Understandable. We also do sell t-shirts and stickers at shop.spreadshirt.com/40k Badcast and grilling aprons aprons for what have you at shop.spreadshirt.com/40k Badcast. I am in the preliminary phases of making the 8-bit piece of shit shirt actually happen, so stay tuned there. And I'll probably be doing what I usually do when I do a t-shirt design is I'll have a Patreon post for like the lowest for any tier where you can kind of get in on that creative process and kind of find out how that works. As for other things I like to plug, I would like to plug a listener of the show, Charlie. He runs a site called The Beard Bunker, and they just put out an article the other day, the 4 tips for handling 40K's complexity, which is a very succinct, good article on taking a look at the complexity of 40K and how to make it just a little easier to play right now. So I would recommend you give that a look.
Love that, Charlie. What's his last name? Brasserie or something? Brasserie. Brasiliano.
Brasilicus.
Love that guy. And finally, gang, send us an email, why don't you? Contact at 40kbadcast.com. That's the best way to talk to us. We check the emails. I've been checking the emails lately, which is saying something. It's rare. But I jump in there every now and then. I like to talk to you guys. I like to see those pictures. We had one picture of a listener in a Hawaiian shirt, which I enjoyed immensely. I want to see those. I want to see those Hawaiian shirts, gang. I know you got them.
Yeah,
I got them.
I do enjoy those updates of people LARPing as my Blood Bowl team.
Yeah. So that's the best way to contact us. Contact at 40kbadcast.com. All right, Campbell, it's time for the quote.
An insquote for all of y'all on this fine January day.
I hate how that's the word you use.
The difference between heresy and treachery is ignorance.
Wow. Yes. Love it. That's, oh God, that's ugh. That's now. That's right now.
Yeah, we're living it, baby.
All right,
Warhammer 3K.
That's it. We're the 40k Badcast. We are bad at podcasting, bad at 40k, and bad at linking up concepts with words to make understandable statements.
Think of it like free association, like slam poetry for 2 hours every 2 weeks. That's our show.
Love it. All right. Bye-bye, Miss American Pie.